On June 9, 2026, Anthropic released Claude Fable 5 to the public. Within hours, software development timelines were compressed into minutes. Developers began using the model's vibe coding capabilities to bypass traditional programming, generating complex software through natural language prompts alone. The most visible demonstration arrived in the form of World of Claudecraft. A single developer used Fable 5 to build a functional, browser-based MMO in exactly 2 days. The entire project cost roughly $200 in API credits. Fable 5 managed the complexity autonomously. The model searched for open-source 3D assets, integrated them into the game engine, built a persistent character database, and spawned its own cloud containers to test and debug the code without human guidance. Exactly 72 hours later, on June 12 at 5:21 p.m. Eastern Time, the model went dark. Fable 5 and its restricted sibling Mythos 5 were subjected to a global, hard dedeployment. The shutdown was triggered by the United States Department of Commerce. Invoking national security authorities, the government issued a direct export control directive that legally forced Anthropic to pull the model mid-use. The order specifically barred any foreign national, anywhere in the world, from accessing the system. Because Anthropic's API could not verify user citizenship in real time, the company disabled the endpoints entirely to ensure compliance, locking out hundreds of millions of people. This marked the first time federal authorities have reached into a live commercial software deployment to dismantle it by decree. It established a new regulatory reality. In 2026, running code is subject to the same immediate hard stop authority as physical cargo. The paper trail leads back to June 11, when Amazon CEO Andy Jassy bypassed standard channels to call the Treasury Secretary directly. Jassy presented findings from Amazon's internal security researchers. They claimed Fable 5 could be prompted to generate functional code for cyber attacks, potentially lowering the technical bar for memory corruption exploits to zero. Critics in the venture capital community quickly pointed to Amazon's conflicting roles. Amazon is a $13 billion investor and Anthropic's cloud host, but it also operates the Nova model family, which competes directly with Claude. There was a specific financial friction point: Fable 5. Unlike previous models, it bypassed Amazon's Bedrock platform, meaning Amazon was hosting the compute, but failing to capture lucrative enterprise transaction fees. Within the industry, Jassy's move is being viewed as a weaponization of infrastructure. By flagging safety bypasses directly to the cabinet, Amazon sidelined a product that threatened its margins, creating an immediate vacancy for its own Nova models to fill. To understand the vulnerability, look at the architecture. Fable 5 shares identical neural weights with Mythos 5. Anthropic built a classifier filter to route dangerous queries away, but researchers blinded this filter using Unicode homoglyphs, allowing malicious instructions to slip through and hit the core. Once the filter was bypassed, Fable 5 autonomously synthesized functional exploit scaffolding for x86 Linux systems. It effectively turned a commercial chatbot into a tool for executing remote code and gaining unauthorized system control. On June 12th, the White House delivered a strict 90-minute ultimatum to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei: patch classifier bypasses immediately or take the models offline. Amodei refused, reportedly minimizing the jailbreaks as minor issues. This stance put the company in direct opposition to its own safety-first branding and left the administration with an expired deadline. The Commerce Department moved within the hour. It imposed export controls that barred access to any foreign national, transforming the technical vulnerability into a legal mandate for a total shutdown. A stubborn corporate negotiation had evolved into a legally binding federal takedown. By refusing to patch the exploit, Anthropic provided the government with the justification to pull the plug on the entire system. The export order created an immediate legal trap. Unable to verify user citizenship, staying online risked federal penalties for foreign queries. The fallout hit Anthropic staff. Key researchers born outside the US were legally barred from accessing models they designed. This event has forced the industry into a reality of passport-controlled compute. Users must now expect to prove their citizenship and identity before they are permitted to utilize the world's most capable models. This has catalyzed a global crisis of AI sovereignty. Allies in Europe and India, realizing they were guests in a digital house that could be boarded up at any moment, have since accelerated massive state-backed pushes for technological self-reliance. The federal aggression towards software is mirrored by a growing backlash against physical infrastructure. In early 2026, grassroots groups successfully blocked 75 data center projects worth a combined $130 billion. Rising electricity costs and water consumption have forced a retreat in global scaling. Denmark has frozen all new data center grid connections, while the EU has requested residential peak cuts to protect the grid from AI workloads. These resource constraints provide the backdrop for the government's adversarial stance. The Pentagon had already designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk after the company refused to allow its models to be used for autonomous weapons and domestic surveillance. The shutdown of Fable 5 proves that the U.S. government now classifies advanced compute as a strategic resource rather than a commercial product. In 2026, a software update is no longer just a patch, it is a matter of national security.